Happy Friday, Vendasta, and welcome to All Hands and Product Showcase for March 28th. Please put your hands together for your host today, Jackie 10.
Happy Friday, Vendasta. This mic hot? We're good? Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, happy Friday, everyone. I can't guarantee that today is going to be as entertaining as Dale's poop talk last week, but I'll tell you, we're going to have a crap load of fun today. We got a big jam to I just started with one dad joke. Got a lot of anniversaries. We got a couple kudos and some customer love, lots of kudos actually. And then we've got 3 quick presentations and nothing else. All right, anniversaries. Rajan, Book, and Purana. Congrats on 1 year. Gina and Neha. 2 years, we've got Mam and Ashir. Mam's our new sales engineer over in Yesware as well, so congrats. Congrats on 2 years. Ajinkya and Nami for on 3 years. Congratulations. Ray coming in at 4 years. Congratulations, Ray. And for Mr. Willem, I think we have a couple special words from Mr. Hopkins. May or may not be here yet. So we're going to skip that until Dale gets. Dale, you're wanted at the office. We're going to skip that one and move back. Oh no, just wait, we're not going to skip it. Is Dale anywhere here?
Dale's here, I saw him.
He's got a really funny lineup. We were rehearsing it this morning, too. Hey Siri, call Dale Hopkins.
Dale Hopkins. After leaving a message, you can
What
hang
should we
up
say to
or
Dale?
press pound for more options.
Dale, you're supposed to be presenting an anniversary. We're going to come back to you, but we look forward to seeing you up on 17th soon. Bye. Well, can you skip those slides maybe? Can you jump ahead so we don't see all the goodies and we'll come back to that? Because we could probably buy a little bit of time. So every year, close to the anniversary of, oh, sorry, I won't get into that yet. Spenny, congratulations on 6 years, as well as Nolan. Well done. Spencer's also celebrating his baby's 1 year birthday today, so a big day. Hold back the tears back there, right? And every year this time of year, there's an event, but it's not Brendan's birthday, okay? Because Brendan hates birthdays. He hates them, and he doesn't want anyone to know that it's his birthday. But the good news is it's not his birthday today. That's okay. But we'll do this, and then we'll come back to the.
Skip this. Do it.
So, because it's not Brendan's birthday, I would like anyone who looks like Brendan to please stand up, and I'm going to sing you all happy birthday. Ready? Why don't you come up? Why don't we all come up, in fact? Can we get a camera pan to everyone but Brendan, who is dressed up like Brendan? I'm going to sing you a happy birthday today, okay? No, Brendan, it's not your birthday. You can't come up. It's not your birthday. Can our remote folks see any of this? I want to make sure that they feel included, because there are some, I think, remote dressed up. All right. To all of you who look like Brendan King but who are not Brendan King, because it's not his birthday, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Spencer's son.
Happy birthday, dear friend.
Spencer's son.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you all. Okay, get out of here, BK. Oh, there's a pinata. I forgot.
I'm sorry, Jackie.
Okay,
It
we
started
got
so
some time.
fast. Do I go back here? Is it I got the slide thing? Okay, I got a couple slides here. All right. Sorry for being a bit late there. All hands is prompt and on time today. So today is a 5-year anniversary for Willem. And so I didn't want to make this too long because I knew that Willem values efficiency here. So being late, I kind of wrecked that. But anyways, I talked to a few people and said, hey, I wanted something quick and to the point about Willem. And so Robert, I don't know how many of you have met Robert, but Robert said, thanks for your mentorship and guidance. Willem brings transparency, clarity, and reliability to everything he touches. And that's from Dustin Walker. I quite enjoyed Emily's communication through a meme here. It says, when I make sure when I communicate, I make it clear, concise, concrete, correct, complete, and courteous. So a little alliteration there. And then Sharanya, hers was great as well. I must say, he has truly been one of the best managers I've had in my entire career. He's been a constant source of support and worked tirelessly to bring out the best in the team. He is very approachable, and he always gave us the space to share our ideas. And not everybody maybe worked with Willem earlier in his time at Vendasta, but for a period of time, Willem was the GM of Platform, and he was actually one of the folks that helped us put together the Sundog project, which was our $120 million raise. And so Jackie had a fair bit of time to work with Willem as well. And so this is Jackie's quote, is his internal nickname is the orthodontist for a reason. He slowly, very methodically aligns us to exactly where we need to be in a way that's intentional and lasting. And this was a picture I put together with a long time ago, which was as when Willem first joined our data warehouse team. And I said, we've got some things to build. Now, Willem and I look older than this now. This is a picture of us yesterday for lunch in Calgary. And so it's been absolutely awesome to work with Willem. And for those of you that haven't sat down closely with Willem, you might not appreciate that Willem is one of the funniest people at our office in his ability to hold a stone face as he makes great jokes. On our executive team, we do a CEO welcome. And one of the questions that everybody gets asked is, what is your superpower? Or what's something you can do better than anybody else? And I saved a few of the special ones that Willem said. One of the ones he said is, I used to travel a lot, so I picked up a lot of different languages as I traveled across Europe, and I actually speak all of them. and then people kind of smiled and looked. He goes, no, try me. And I think Jackie said, all right, French. And he goes, je ne parle pas français, parlez-vous anglais? He goes, I can also do German. Ich spreche nun Deutsch, schreibe Sie English. And so Willem quickly rattled off 6 languages of, yes, I don't speak this language, how about English? And so it's been absolutely great. And, in sitting down and chatting with folks, it's not exactly sure how to phrase it, but, Willem is one of those folks who's definitely a role model, and he's someone that I've looked up to for a long time while I've been here. And Willem's kind of the guy that he's a person that, he comes from a lot of companies of a larger size, and the exciting part is Willem's one of those guys that's a role model for companies, of a much larger size. And so I've always been appreciative in his ability to say where we're going, not where we are today. So thank you very much for 5 years, Willem. It's absolutely great to work with you.
Thanks, Dale. I was searching endlessly for that DJ Willem image. So if you could just drop that into the Slack channel, please, anyone watching. I'm looking at you, Rylan, because there's a great image. Willem's got mad taste in house beats. All right, kudos. Everyone knows these are our leadership principles. We have 16 of them. Every week we recognize someone who embodies them. And Will reached out to us earlier this week and wanted to give not one, not two, but entire team shout out to Cuttlefish and Timo on the BMO developer team. BMO's been a big project. Some call it BMO. but it has pulled us outside of our comfort zone. It's sort of carved the way into a lot of opportunity with Yesware, and this team's balanced that as well as a whole bunch of other things. So I want to give a huge shout out to the Cuttlefish BMO team, BMO team. On our QA specialists, they've done successfully completed the customization project and received official sign-off from BMO. Throughout this 20-month project, the development team faced constant challenges and aggressive client deadlines. Their patience, dedication, and hard work brought the 3 bidirectional syncs over the finish line. Wow, 3 bidirectional. I don't even know how that works. Thank you for all your unwavering commitment and professionalism in delivering high-quality product for Yesware's biggest client and beyond. And BMO's actually on our board as well, and they have a large presence in the financial services industry, so this is sort of a marquee opportunity and client. So congrats, everyone, on that project. Brandon wants to give a shout out to Seda. I want to take a moment to recognize Seda for the incredible work she does every day. The amount of positive feedback I've received from our partners about her is a testament to her dedication and professionalism. She handles challenges with confidence, clarity, and a solution-oriented mindset when they arise. Recently, she managed a particularly tough situation with a partner, setting clear expectations and holding them accountable while still finding a way to move things forward. She kept me in the loop throughout and ensured everything was handled smoothly. And if that wasn't impressive enough, she did all of this while recovering from a broken wrist. What a warrior. Partners love working with Seda, and it's easy to see why. She brings consistency, reliability, and a great attitude to everything she does. Huge kudos to you, Seda. I appreciate everything you do, and we appreciate everything you do, Seda. And a special one as well from Coots, the IT czar, if you haven't met him. Katie. This one was cool. Katie recently impressed the IT services team with her actions to keep both Vendasta and a partner safe and secure. Recently, Katie discovered an email notifying her that one of her partners had shared a Dropbox document. First clue. As this was unexpected, Katie reached out to the partner and instead of opening the document and confirmed that the partner's Dropbox had been hacked and that we shouldn't open the file. This is excellent security thinking. Unexpected file transfers should always be confirmed before being opened. Lesson for all of us. For Katie's actions, IT Services and Security has awarded her for the Information Security Challenge Coin. I don't know what that means, but it deserves some sound effects. Well done, everyone. And my favorite part, the customer love section. From Brad at Riley Advanced Edge, Inc. Denise, the support provided is by far some of the best I have literally ever received. Very knowledgeable and helpful. Highly proficient in the ability to assist. I am completely impressed with Vendasta's support. Thank you. And if you want a hit of more of this, come down to the 14th floor, hang out by the support team. They've got this customer love on rotation as well. So if you need a little warm up on a cold day today, that's the place to hang out. We've got a number of upcoming events. I like that we called out April Fool's Day, so you don't get fooled, but it is. I'm actually getting a root canal, no joke, on April Fool's Day. Ramzan, April Fool's Day, WellShift Lunch and Learn Hobby Hour. Bring out your voice, whether you have one or not. Naloxone training, spring cleaning sip and swap, and Good Friday. Remember, that is the stat on the Friday, I believe, for North American offices. Maybe I'll check, ask Pepper. Okay. Here's some learning and development opportunities ran by our lovely learning and development team. We've got Workflow Wednesday. Ali G, are you leading that one this week? All right. If you want to mash up some cool creations with Ali G and some friends, that's a fun one to hit. And Think Big Goal Setting with Vision. I believe we're going to do that one as well. Fantastic. As we gear up for Q2 goal setting. All right, I'm going to give you a quick recap. I'll try to keep it fun and light because this is a good groove going. But we're going to talk a little bit about some of the decisions that have been made going into the year and recently ratified at our board meeting. Firstly, I want to call attention to my face is up here, but really these are the guys doing all the work. Hank, as he's better known, is doing a ton of work for the Marketplace Group. Nolan is doing a tremendous amount as well. He doesn't even have this as his full-time focus. He also works with solution architecture, and same with Sean. And together they're a very strong bunch, integrating vendors, supporting vendors, and doing a whole bunch of work to sort of clean up and align our marketplace going into the rest of the year. And so what I wanted to just show you today were some of the board slides and do a quick TLDR on why we launched the marketplace in the first place. And this is what we told our board, and we wanted to sort of bring them along on the journey and then have them arrive at some of the decisions and proposals we want to make going forward. So just to give everyone some context, if you're new to Vendasta and haven't been here for so long, we developed a marketplace in 2016 to capitalize on some opportunity that we were seeing within the space. The first thing we wanted to do was accelerate go-to-market for channels. So a lot of what, I still remember going to the decks. Do you remember that meeting in decks? And they're like, ugh, we have to integrate every vendor, and we have to negotiate contracts, and we have to procure, and it takes us like 6 to 12 months. And by the time we finally get approval to sell a product, it becomes obsolete because our customers want something else. And we're like, whoa, that's an opportunity. We could do that. Why don't we take the best-in-class vendors, allow our partners to just literally turn them on and skip all that, and we could become that channel for MarTech. So it was really that curated one-stop shop for the best-in-class MarTech solutions is where we really focused. We allowed them group buying power, best prices, all of that. For the SMBs, of course, this allowed for a unified digital experience. Rather than getting cobbled things together, we provided that single pane of glass, one password, one bill, and it really empowered the partner relationship and the value they were providing to their clients. For vendors, it was exciting as well, and we're still seeing this today. It's like, wow, I get to tap into a channel that is your customer base to sell my product at scale. I get to integrate once and have instant access to thousands of channel resellers and small businesses. This is cool. And the 30% at the time, when we were talking about 30%, was far less than what they were paying in the cost of sales and marketing to get after this long tail base of customers and partners. And so there was a great opportunity there. And all the while, it really drove our strategy. It allowed us to generate not only insight for Vendasta, but recurring revenue streams, adjacent cross-sell, and it informed our M&A strategy, and it still does today, because we can see the best-selling vendors, the top performers in terms of client retention and churn and stickiness. So that's kind of where we built it. Now, when we started, we went super broad. We added HR and legal and finance, and we said we want to be sort of that one-stop shop for everything a small business needs. And that was exciting. We started to get a little bit of traction, but there was a heavy investment to go into some of those categories that weren't quite adjacent to where we were. And as you see here, where we are today and where the marketplace success and the revenue is today is primarily in where our channel operates. No coincidence. If you're going to trust someone to run your front end or do customer acquisition for you, it totally makes sense that they're able to bring together tools. And the analogy, and I got to give Libel credit for this one, the analogy we used at the board meeting was our successful partners, they bake cakes. They don't just resell flour and eggs and sugar, they bake cakes. They provide a meaningful service by using some of these tools on behalf of the small businesses. Sometimes they offer that DIY and sometimes they combine. And so it makes sense to sell candles alongside cake, not drywall or hammers, right? That doesn't really fit in the context. But as our channel broadens and as our expertise broadens, we're starting to get into some of these new channels, like IT. A new category brings us a new channel brings us a new category, which is exciting. So given this and given some of our focus on our investments, we started to look deeply at the marketplace. And we saw, and as Brendan kind of mentions and talks about, some of the stickiest products are those ones that are close to the till. If you can say, hey, I delivered you a click or a call or a traffic or an impression, that's cool. But if you can say, I brought you a customer, and here's how much that customer is worth, when you're actually delivering customers, you become increasingly more valuable to a business. And so we started to see this shift. And in June of 2023, we recognized that some of these stickier products were those ones. And we wanted to shift our investment into proprietary solutions, like we've been building out for the last 2 years, a year and a half, that allow us to become more mission critical and sticky. And so in order to do that, and given some of our goals to be really efficient as an organization, we reduced some of our marketplace and we really focused it on where we had fit, where we're seeing value, and where it would complement our overall organizational strategy. And so this is sort of the insights that we derived. One is through a deep churn analysis, and this is what Brandon talked about at our board meeting. We saw that our O&O products, congrats to our foundational products team, by the way, this is fantastic, but they're stickier in comparison to our vendor categories. So we have great products. We also are seeing that CRM and communication, those ones that are starting to get closer to the customer and closer to the till, are very sticky, and we have data to back that up. We also see that third-party MarTech products that are recurring, they have proven track record, they provide healthy third-party margin. So there's 2 words that really stand out about the rest. One is recurring, right, because that really drives retention, reduces churn, and high margin. And so MarTech, when they're SaaS-like in nature, they are recurring and they're high margin, and that's what we're sort of optimizing for. Advertising, we saw, because it's highly transactional and because we're taking a very low margin on sort of ad spend and the way we procure it, it causes kind of a lot of noise in some of that. And so we said, is there a way that we can either turn those ad tech vendors into more recurring, sticky, high margin products and operate more SaaS-like, or is there a way we can just get them to longer life cycle? So what we recommended to the board was we have sort of 3 dimensions in our strategy. Our first recommendation is to maintain our current investment so that we continue to build AI-powered, sticky O&O productivity tools. And that is exactly what we're doing. You're seeing the fruit of that later with all of our with all of our product updates. And we're seeing very exciting churn metrics and retention metrics coming out of that. Meanwhile, we will seek to add new vendors, either global brands who are willing to do the blue chip vendors, either global brands where we will do the work, where we know there's lots of opportunity and demand on the other side, or on MarTech vendors who will do the work and who we know are of a high quality, who can be bought, not necessarily sold through our marketplace, and who complement our existing solutions. And all the while, we want to enhance discoverability and really visibility and adoption of our top performing vendors. So we're doing a big analysis. Hank and Nolan have done a big analysis on anyone that's not really seeing meaningful success, and we either want to get them to success if they're worth investing in, or maybe we start to sunset some of the vendors that really didn't see uptake in our channel base. And so we've developed a set of core principles that we want to take into 2025, and that is around 4 categories. Product and vendor selection, who we ultimately engage for our marketplace, integration and implementation, how they get into our product and our platform, pricing and economics, and lastly, our go-to-market and operations. So the first one, again, recurring high-margin SaaS products, that's what we're optimizing for. We want to make sure that they're established vendors, that they're not necessarily a startup. We don't want to be the first marketplace they go into. We want them ultimately to be adjacent and complementary so that our partners can use them easily. We're not having to sell them heavily. And we want them to complement but not be competitive to our owned and operated products. We will prioritize vendors that also bring demand. So a great opportunity, and some of our sales teams are working on, is partners who are vendors. We can sort of work together as a strategic partnership to bring their direct customers to our platform, as well as give them distribution through the rest of the products. And we want to set that threshold, and that's really tying both of us accountable. We want to get you to at least $1,000 or $12,000 in annual contract value in the year so that you can see success, and we want to invest to get them. So what's really changed? It sounds similar, but we were curated, but we weren't very tight on who we let in before. We were letting lots of vendors implement. Right now, we're going to have a stricter acceptance criteria. We're going to get into the marketplace and to remain into the marketplace. And we're going to be having a plan with all the other vendors coming up here of those that don't meet the threshold. Next one, integration and implementation. What are some of the updated principles? Vendors must complete their own integration unless we decide to invest in a global brand. And this comes right up to Dale and Jesse and the product teams on which and why we would even justify doing the work. So we're exploring one global brand integration right now and doing and revisiting some of these principles as we go through it. This is a big one, and this one doesn't really make sense without context, but if you go to our Discover Products page right now, for the untrained eye, it sort of looks like bleh, like lots of things of just like, wah, there's SKU sprawl all over the place. It's because we didn't really have the SKU infrastructure in place to handle additions or add-ons or some of these other things. So what this basically means is that we're going to limit the top-level products so that partners can find them more easily. And rather than having product A, B, and C, edition A, B, and C all on the top-level page, no, it's one product, and there's multiple editions, and there's add-ons. And so it really consolidates and improves the user experience for a frictionless buying experience. Here are some of the global brands exceptions we're going to make. They're the big ones, and they are adjacent and complementary, so they must check all the other boxes, but they also have to have a higher revenue threshold. They have to have an existing reseller program. We're not going to invent them for that, or they have to build that. And the revenue share percentage is subject to adjudication. Sometimes, and the one we're negotiating right now, it's actually higher than 30%. But other times, like for our global or our G Suite integration, they have a standard rate, and we sort of abide by that. But G Suite is a great product, and it's sold alongside our complementary products. So what's really changed? You're going to see a lot of changes. We're partnering with the product marketing group. Ryland's leading this and working with Hank and Nolan to just clean up that Discover Products page. So it's going to be lickety clean, split, clean, and all that, and easily discovered. Oh no, backwards. Pricing and economics. We want to make sure in sort of auditing all this, some things got removed from our latest contracts, but having favored nations pricing at scale just basically means we get the same pricing, or our partners get the same pricing as if they were to go direct to the vendor. So we really want to encourage and implement that on a go-forward basis. Standard marketplace rate is 30%. That's sort of common even in the App Store and Apple. And again, it's replacing the cost of acquisition. And this is sort of a newer one, but there's sort of been opportunity, and there are actually current vendors in our marketplace that have what's called a referral model. So it's sort of like we facilitate a transaction outside of our platform, and then they pay us back. That doesn't really align to our reseller platform right now. We'll look at those on a case-by-case basis, but the reason being is when a paying SMB occurs, it's because there's a wholesale billing between us and a partner. And so if it's a referral, we don't get to count that as a paying SMB. And that's one of those example of a decisions of having a North Star metric and really informing some of our strategic decisions as a company. And so we're going to look at reseller referrals on a real case-by-case basis, but we are a reseller marketplace, which means our partners take those products and resell them. We don't facilitate, yet anyways, any type of referral through our platform, though it's definitely something that we might in the next couple of years. And lastly, and these are probably some of the biggest changes, Sanjay and I have been working on sort of a revised channel enablement strategy. I'll tell you what that looks like. The big one is we are vendor neutral. We're Switzerland. So while it is our jobs in Vendasta, and I believe that I've talked in the past about Salesforce and having a lot of these CRO candidates. I've been interviewing a lot of people that work at larger SaaS companies, and a lot of the candidates at Salesforce have talked about their sales team is meant to sell core Salesforce, and they refer to their marketplace. And this is a standard that Sanjay also saw at Microsoft. So they sell their own products, and they refer other products, and they can recommend other products. That's the model that Vendasta is adopting as well. So we sell our own stuff, and we can recommend, and we're going to have a limited number of preferred vendors in a single category to recommend. And we're going to be working on making sure that those product pages update, so we recommend the right based on the use case our customers are asking for. That means the vendors are ultimately responsible for selling their own products. And who can do it better than the vendors themselves? And we facilitate that opportunity to meet. And so that means we get deep technical knowledge for that sale, and we can facilitate that relationship. As part of that, promotions, and this is a standard from Marketplace. I believe Sanjay's even looking to build or bring on someone or the guidance of someone who ran this at Microsoft, but running channel incentives and promotions for our partners' sales teams. We will facilitate that, but what that means, and Brendan talks about examples of that at CompuSmart, Jeff Leibel was talking about that back in the restaurant industry. When our partner sells something, we either give them the money to pocket or to pay their sales team, but it's sort of that rebate program. So it's driving the incentives, and our partners, or we might fund that for Vendasta products, but we're going to also allow our vendors to fund some of those channel promotions and incentives for our channel to sell as well. So we're just carving out what that looks like, and that's probably going to become a big focus in Q2 to allow our vendors to participate in promotions. And just to curb it out, vendors still handling tier 1 support, and we're really encouraging and we're looking at how we can remove some friction so that our vendors and our partners communicate within the platform. So all communications go through the platform. So what's really changing? We're going to have a structure around some of our promotions and channel incentives. We're not going to be spiffing our teams directly for those sales. We're going to allow partners to grow and sell our products and services. And Vendasta might cover some of the spiff costs as part of that same program if we want to sell our own products and services. It'll be sort of that same channel incentive program. So that is it. If you have any questions, again, huge shout out to Hank and Nolan, and the executive team was really formative, obviously, at our offsite. And these are going to be published as principles. If you have thoughts or questions, please hit me up. Go into the Marketplace strategy channel as well if you want to look in that. I also wanted to bring someone up here. So last week, Chris, if anyone knows Diani, he's a great storyteller at our company, and he did a great sales stand-up. There's a few of us buzzing afterwards. I'm like, wow, that was really good. So I wanted him to do it today, but Chris is not here today because the dirty dog himself is at March Madness. We did a March Madness theme update, and I said, send me a pic while you're there, we'll play your video. But he's recorded a video for us, and it's a really cool analogy using March Madness on how some of our new AI tools are being adopted through the Neighborly channel. I thought it was great to share with you all. So with that, roll the film.
Everyone, wanted to have a little bit of fun with March Madness. Wanted to take a look at our consumer journey here, the AI-powered consumer journey. This is a slide that many of you have seen. I'm sure all of you have seen it. It's certainly one we present as we're training all these small business owners and partners out there. But I thought it'd be fun to unpack this. What if we took these features, these products, this functionality, and turned it into a bit of a March Madness Elite Eight? So let's unpack it and let's look at saying, what if up here in the South region, we have the NPS survey feature going against lead nurturing? Down in the West, we've got AI social marketing going against AI web chat. Up in the East, we've got review generation going against voice AI. We got Campaigns Pro going against missed call text back in the Midwest region. But we got to figure out what is the criteria. How do we determine a winner here? So I want to give a little context, a little bit of understanding. And what we're looking at is the most requested feature with high perceived value. But who are the people that are requesting these features? Who's perceiving this value? Well, you might know this, but over the last 3 months, we have onboarded nearly 3,000 small business owners to Inbox Pro, to Repman Pro, to Campaigns Pro, to Social Marketing Pro, all in Q1. This was all with Neighborly, and these are all Neighborly franchisees, which are ultimately small business owners. That's a pretty impressive feat, a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of work, a ton of work to still be done, but it's really impressive that we've brought that many small business owners onto the platform using our products. If you think about it, that's roughly 42 new small business owners each day this year. And year to date, we've generated over 21,000, nearly 22,000 web chats and converted over 11,000 leads for these small business owners. Leads that converted into book jobs into revenue. We've almost talked to all 3,000 of these owners. Well, I mean, almost all of them. But if you really think about what have we done and how are we in front of this audience and the information we've gathered is what's going to drive our March Madness game here. But you think about it, we've done 2 company-wide growth webinars. That's where the entire company joins to do a growth webinar. We hosted that, talked all about our Broadly Stack, got a lot of great feedback. We've done 19 regional events. Regional events are where each brand hosts a event where anywhere between 20, 50, or even their entire brand will show up, 200, 300 folks, to have 2 to 3 days of packed material about how to grow their business, different things to learn about from their business coaches, from each other. It's a great networking event for these small business owners, but these are spread over all across the country. We've attended 19 of them. Usually we're presenting 30 to 60 minutes at every one. We're also sitting out in the lobby. We're having conversations with small business owners about the product. We've done 37 brand trainings as we've launched these products into the different brands. We always start with 2 to 3 trainings for each brand leading up to it. We've done business coach trainings. These are the FBCs that coach these small business owners across how to grow their business, but part of that is our efforts with Broadly. So we've trained all of them. Think about it as train the trainers. 21 office hours. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we're hosting office hours. Myself, Megan, Jenna, Sandy, we jump in and we host anybody who shows up. It could be 2 franchise owners. It's been 15 franchise owners, but we've hosted 21 of those. Hundreds of SMB meetings, really countless amount of interactions with these small business owners, and then thousands of support calls. So all of this is coming in to feed how we're going to determine the March Madness results and the ultimate champion of those features. These are people like Teddy, Mr. Handyman of West Beverly Hills. Teddy's been in business for 30 years with that business. He has 2 locations. He's very savvy. He's all over the product. Was actually a Go High Level user in the past. Got Andres. Andres is a former software engineer. He now runs Ground Guys of Winter Park. Very sophisticated with automations, knows all about it. Great feedback from him. You've got Stacy, who's running a huge empire, one of the largest franchise systems across Neighborly. She is the office person and deals with all the customers and all the software and all the tools. A wealth of knowledge from Air Servo Timpton. You got Desiree, Grounds Guys of Wichita. She's fun. She sent me an email saying, don't bother with the owner. I'm the one that does all the work. She was really helpful on our calls. You got Scott at Mosquito Joe, Dave at 5 Star Painting. You got Bill at Molly Made Silicon Valley, Melissa Electric. I can tell you details about all of them, but in interest of time here, this is just giving you an example of who we're talking to, who makes up the 3,000 people. Additionally, we've had opportunities to talk to some power users of Go High Level, also kind of resold to them through a company called Minify. These interviews have been really powerful and kind of little nuggets of gold all along the way. What is it that they love so much about the Go High Level products? We were able to talk to them, interview them, see what they were using, see what they find valuable. What is it that really helped drive that adoption for them? So with that in mind, this is our sample, right? So if you could kind of say Neighborly franchise owners in the US and Canada that are running small businesses in the home service industry are ultimately a sample size for us, a barometer of the target population we're all going after, whether that's the resellers, the agencies, all of us direct, whatever it is, they should be a good representation of people that are using our products. And that's going to drive the March Madness here. So let's start with the South region. We've got NPS surveys against lead nurturing automation. NPS surveys, these guys, this is a team of super seniors. I think the average age on this team has got to be over 32. They've made many appearances to the dance. Recently, though, they got some new UI, uniforms. and these new uniforms have really kind of energized them. They've made it all the way to the Elite Eight, but they're up against a heavy hitter with lead nurturing automation. This team has an amazing coach setting all the workflows, setting all the plays. Really, it's a bunch of people out there that just know exactly what to do by the coaches, very coachable, and they're delivering, right? So in this first matchup, we got to think about who is it that's going to pull ahead. And it was lead nurturing automation. This team and this product is highly desired. The idea of hands-off functionality that delivers real value, it was just going to crush the NPS team. Now, NPS surveys have a wonderful place. Corporate loves NPS surveys. Franchisors love NPS data. They drive their entire business off of that. You might not know this, but as a powerful franchise owner, if you want to buy another franchise system, you have to have a certain NPS score or higher to even be considered if you want to expand within the franchise that you're part of. However, small business owners, the ones that are making up this March Madness game for us, they're not as into NPS surveys. They love lead nurturing automation. All right, brings us down into the West, AI social marketing against AI web chat. The social marketing team, always a fan favorite. It's amazing when we're out there doing a demonstration of this product to these owners. The eyes open, the jaws drop. This team, this product, really delivers on the demo. As we're showing the AI tool, the prompting, the images, the auto creation, the multiple campaigns, the people in the audience, as we're standing in front of them all, you hear the, oh, that's amazing. You hear all of this feedback. It really demos well. But of course, they're up against AI web chat. This team, always in the Elite Eight here, certainly delivers. People are familiar with web chat, right? All the owners we talk to, they all have some version of web chat, but now having it powered by conversational AI, fully trained on the knowledge and integrated, it's a solution that demos very well, has high visibility, and is helping them convert leads into revenue. The winner of this one, AI web chat. And this was a close one. AI social marketing is doing really well, but AI web chat certainly is edging it out. As we move up into the East, we see Review Generation, a team that's been in the big dance every year for the past 20 years. They've made a nice run in here to the Elite Eight because of the tool sets and how much folks, business owners, love their egos, I guess, really, right? They love seeing great results for their business. They're putting so much work into it. But what is it that makes Review Generation great? Broadly started, and still is one of the primary values of Classic Broadly, is review generation, because it's automated, it's easy, and it helps grow their business. However, they're up against the full freshman team coming in hot this year without any previous appearances, but they're brand new to the big dance. The Voice AI team is coming in with an amazing functionality, a lot of buzz around them. Who's going to pull this one off? It's Review Generation. Right now, I think Voice AI's got a chance at making it to the championship and possibly winning the title next year. Just still a little too young. The adoption's not there for this target audience. Not enough buzz and demand yet, but a ton of interest there. So when we're talking to these business owners, everybody's like, well, how do I just get to Voice AI? Is that coming? When is that coming? How do I introduce that into my call flow? How does that interact with missed call text back? We hear a lot about that, but ultimately, Review Generation is going to pull off because it's easy to use. They generate more reviews, and they're happy to see them, and they're happy to know that they're doing a good job in their business. Moving down to the Midwest, we've got Campaigns Pro against Missed Call Text Back. Now, Campaigns Pro is coming to this tournament injured. They don't have their star players. Campaigns Pro here does not have SMS campaigns turned on for this target audience. So we are doing emails, but it also doesn't have the connections. It also doesn't have the connections where we are, it doesn't have the connections to the automations yet. So they are coming a little bit injured into this audience, but they're going up against the hitter Missed Call Text Back. Missed Call Text Back, another one of those strong features that people ask about because it's automated, because it's helping them solve some problems. They really like the value of being able to kind of be hands-off and have a solution solve problems for them. The winner of this one, Missed Call Text Back. We're now to the final four. Look at lead nurturing against AI web chat. We've already heard about these products. It's very close here. Who's going to edge them out? I would say the demand that we're hearing from the audience is lead nurturing automation. They just can't get over how exciting it is to fully automate a potential customer segment, a customer journey, whether that's an old canceled customer, whether it's a seasonal customer they're trying to upsell, whether that's a recurring customer they want to do additional services onto. Maybe it's a new lead that comes in. They're very excited about the ability for AI and automations to nurture these audiences to help increase their overall system-wide sales without them making outbound phone calls. Down here, we got AI web chat versus Missed Call Text Back. Two power hitters. I think many people might be surprised by the result here. Missed Call Text Back takes the win. So we now have in the finals Missed Call Text Back against lead nurturing automation. Both of these have something in common. It's easy to use once set up and configured. It solves real problems for business owners, and they can help go about their normal job while all of this stuff runs for them to bring them new leads in business. But there can only be one true champion. What is the most desired, talked about feature among this audience? Missed Call Text Back, the new national champs of our fake Elite Eight game here. But let's take a step back. Maybe not surprise a lot of folks. A lot of amazing products that we're delivering across Vendasta. You could make an argument for any of them to be the winner. But what we're noticing is Missed Call Text Back has high demand. And that's because it's a combination of everything we do great. It's integrated, it's automated, and it's bringing in conversational AI. We integrate with Neighborly to pull in things like availability of appointment windows, pricing, diagnostic fees, services. We automate all of this stuff because we can automate a missed call text back after the call is missed. It does take some configuration and setup. And then, of course, though, that text message isn't a single text message. It's now powered by conversational AI, and that's what they love. The text message goes out, the AI converts it, books the job, sends the lead into their point of sale with an integration, and away we go. What this reminds me of is review generation with Broadly 5-6 years ago when we launched with Neighborly. We were and still are the fastest growing vendor with Neighborly when we launched review generation. But that's because it was integrated and it was automated and it delivered value, right? Integrated, automated. You're going to hear me say it over and over again. But back then, 5 years ago, when we launched it, it's because it was just hands off. They were able to go about their life, work in their point of sale system. We would integrate to pull out the contact, we fire off reviews. The reviews would go through the roof. They saw new leads, new business. It was great. Missed call text back has that same power. It's able to be hands off once you set it up and drive a lot of value. It also solving real problems. 30 to 40% of the calls are not answered by these small business owners. Neighborly's done a lot of studies, a lot of secret shopping to get to that data point. You talk to their CEO and he says, these missed calls are corporate crime. He wants to solve this, right? How do you not miss leads? How do small business owners that are too busy doing their job not miss real leads? You can think of call centers and contact centers, but a lot of times a missed call text back is just as powerful. Remember those Go High Level users we interviewed? We talked to all of them. I spoke with a lot of them myself. What I found is the first question I'd ask them is, what do you love about Go High Level? It was actually called the Minify, but what do you love about that? What is it that has just got you so excited about this and willing to pay $400 to $500 a month? The number one answer every single time was missed call text back. Half of them weren't even using web chat. They didn't even have web chat turned on to their website. They had missed call text back powered by really well-trained and well-prompted AI to convert the conversations. The second thing they loved was the next runner-up was automations of lead nurturing. They're all setting up very clever triggers to nurture and send back, automations and lead nurturing. Those two features are what jumped out a lot when talking to them. And we're finding as we bring in the other 3,000, they're all asking for the same thing. So say it with me one more time and we'll get out of here. Integrated, automated, easy to use. These three things are what make a feature set very popular, very low churn, and highly desired. Integrated, automated, easy to use. Thanks for the March Madness. Congratulations to Missed Call Text Back. We'll see you guys around.
Integrated, automated, easy to use. Love that. All right. Can I call the wizard up, please?
Hi, everybody. Brendan suggested I think of like talking to kids. All right, use your inside voice, everyone. My name is Inside Voice F. David Schultz, and I'm here for the social committee, and I want to give a big thank you to Kaz. I asked her this morning, hey, could you put together the slide deck for me? I just have a couple of meetings. She's like, yeah, I can put that together, but I'm not going to show it to you. So I'm going into this blind, but she did say that I have to say everything on here, and she gave me a couple of other tips to help avoid confusion and chaos. Because we didn't want another, Chris Fossner episode of social committee updates. Some people know what I mean. All right. So anyway, let's all go mod tidy and move on with the social committee. I am F. David Schultz upon the porcelain throne, and on our team we have Kaz Lim, our data uniter and media person, Anissa, our director of unfortunate nighttime gatherings, Shane, the project officer or something. There could be a new associate people operations officer looking out there. We have an open space. Andrew, our financial and responsible trustee. Robin, our bling unifier of memorable stuff. And of course, Sumi, our community representative for activities and planning. You'll be able to see that all of our dump, dung, poos, poo, farts, bums, and crap is really fun. And you'll imagine my surprise when the India Social Committee thought we should take on these same titles. All right, really quick House Cup update. I think this is where we are at right now. We had the Jersey Day, so maybe this will show us what it's become. Nope, that's just what it was. All right. That was the update. Awesome. All right. Again, I know the basic content. I have not seen these slides. Get ready for Quintuple Wednesday. If you're not familiar with that, any time that there are 5 Wednesdays in a month, you have an opportunity to earn 5 points. Super duper exciting, and we have that coming up in April. So this April, we're going to get spirited. Thank you for just adding this direct screenshot. We are bringing back the Quintuple Queen. I thought there might be more description than this, but as you post on theme each week, we encourage you to leave a crown emoji on the posts that you think are most exciting. And whoever across all 4 houses gets the most crowns, they will be named the Quintuple Queen of the Week. We'll let that count until end of the day in Saskatchewan on Friday. Make sure there's lots of time for everybody to get their crowns on. And then that Quintuple Queen will get to choose. Do they want to give their house 250 bonus points? Or do they want to steal 125 points from another house? So a little bit of playing the game there. And if you saw where House Respect was at, there might be a lot of theft happening. So that is how we're going to be running this. But let's talk about the themes, maybe. See? Yes. All right. Show me your DIY, okay? April 2nd. Again, I'm supposed to read this all directly out loud. Don't blame, there's a worried cough in the audience. But a DIY, so show us your forging, if you've been actively working at a forge, or like a craft that you're working on, whatever that might be. April 2nd is gonna be a DIY theme. And then, April 9th, we are supporting others. So here you can see Robin helping a grandmother with her groceries. Andrew often helping me around when my legs get tired. And then, of course, Kaz helping someone while rock climbing. So on April 9th, that is International Pink Shirt Day. It's a day to fight against bullying. And so we want to see how you help to support others within your community. Maybe that will be grabbing a selfie during the naloxone training and showing how you're being community-minded that way, volunteering, donating to a cause, whatever that looks like to you. We want to see how you support others on the 9th. And now, Truth and a Lie, April 16th. Game. Okay. Guess in GChat which is the truth and which is the lie. F. David Schultz, go left to right, okay? All right. So, I guess go on to GChat right now, and we're going to go through these one by one. And then afterwards, I guess we'll find out which of these are right or wrong. So, let's read through these really quick. Hemant. I used to be a wedding photographer, or I rode a bike along the Icefields Parkway from Jasper to Banff. Which one of those is true, and which one is a lie? Cal, I have been a basketball coach, but never played basketball. I used to be a wedding photographer. I painted people's dogs for a living. I'm assuming, well, okay, we said one truth and a lie, and now there's 3 on there. So one of those might be a lie or more. Who knows? Pick the lie. Maybe that's what we're going to do. Let's pick the lie. All right. Nikia. These are small. I'm just going to come up here. Just one. Okay, how about I used to be a wedding photographer. I feel like that might have been copy-pasted. I've been stung by a jellyfish and a stingray, kicked by a horse, and fell off a motorcycle. That sounds painful. I was once an I thought it says I was once an airplane. And I was like, Nikia, I don't think you were ever actually an airplane. On an airplane that experienced such bad turbulence, we had to land in an unplanned destination. Oh, all right. Which one of those could it be? Get your guesses in. Throw them into the GChat. Hopefully that is going in an organized way. Jackie, I've had chicken pox 4 different times. That would be, check yourself for shingles. I was once an au pair in Switzerland and lived across the street from Celine Dion. Or I've been to a cocktail party with Obama, Harper, Sarkozy, and Merkel. And I used to be a wedding photographer. I'm sensing a theme. Alec, I was filmed for the Corner Gas movie. I met Bob McGrath while performing at Telemiracle, or used to be a wedding photographer. Sean, I once spent 2 months in the hospital for a broken leg. I used to be a wedding photographer. I once stayed up for 5 days straight working. Holy smokes. Now, Kaz, you had told me to go left to right, so should I do the ginger one first? Like, it extends all the way down. I'm going to do ginger. Okay, ginger. I am sociable and an introvert. I used to be a wedding photographer. LOL, thanks, ginger. No one will guess which is true. You're welcome. Beautiful. Dale Bruce Hopkins. I picked up spearfishing as a summer pursuit and have managed to shoot a few fish. I go ice fishing in the winter with my kids and enjoy eating the fish, but I catch most of the fish. Sorry, they enjoy eating them, but you catch the most. Okay, I gotcha. Or used to be a wedding photographer. And Joy, one truth and one lie. I am the youngest among my siblings. I have driven a motorcycle before. I used to be a wedding photographer. All right. So hopefully everyone has gotten those in. Are there points for this? I guess we'll find out. Maybe it'll say on the next slide. There should be points. If there aren't, I will artificially dictate some. And I'll give everyone a couple more seconds. And bam. Oh, I'm going to make people guess truths and a lie and then actually never reveal the answers because it's hilariously anticlimactic that way. Ah, suckers! Sorry, inside voice. Ha, suckers. I got you. What cruelty on my part. Bunch of wedding photographers. All right. Next, fashion disaster on April 23rd. Now, I have been told that not everyone is like Kaz or Sean here and wants to necessarily show off the times that they, well, I mean, Sean here actually is the opposite example. So Kaz, an absolute disaster here. Sean, a beautiful human being and a showcase of amazing, how much of an amazing fashionista he is. So you can do this as like, you know, a fashion fierce or faux pas kind of thing. So if you don't feel like showing off your disasters, you can just show off how amazing you are every single day. And then, button, pet share. So you can share a photo of your pet, including your pet Sean. If Sean is your pet, feel free to include that image on April 30th. So pretty straightforward there. Do you have suggestions, questions, compliments for the porcelain throne? Reach out in the Fun Vendasta social events space. I don't think that space exists anymore, actually. But you know, just send someone a message. We showed you all the things, and though that was everything. All right, get ready, Quintuple Wednesday. Earn some points next month. Have a lovely day, everybody.
How do you follow that? Okay, I think the last thing. Are we taking it? We had one Vox Populi this week. I didn't know about it, and then William told me about it last night, but Brendan's going to answer it. I would like to know if this painting on 16 is an accurate rendering of a previous Vendasta party in the park or not. Jackie, me? Jackie must address this Friday. We deserve answers. Well, I'm going to delegate to the not birthday guy to answer. Yeah, tell us. What's
So,
going
like,
on?
this comes from, you know, we acquired a few companies. One of them was Yesware. And Yesware is a company that's been around for a long time. And you guys have seen the mascot, haven't you? The Yeti. It's been around at some of our our parties. Well, there was about 4 or 5 pictures there. And I was told that by Joel, and I think they came from even before that these photos took a lot of deep thinking, and there was really a lot of science and reasoning behind them. And so when we closed the Yesware office in Boston, we brought them to Saskatoon. Now there's one missing. I think somebody has one in their office. But I didn't really know what the story was. So I took a picture with Gemini and uploaded it. So you can use AI. There it is. There's the picture. And it says, the painting you've shared is a parody of Edward Manet's famous work, Le Jeune de la Herbe, the Luncheon on the Grass, originally painted in 1863. And then I asked some more questions, like, what's the history of this? Like, I wanted to figure out why this was important to the Yeti, because I was told that the Yeti is pretty timeless, and he actually changed history all throughout. So they wanted to find out how Yesware got him. So apparently this painting is one of the most important and controversial paintings in the history of Western art, which I didn't know. And here's why it's historically significant. One, at the time, the art world favored mythological or historical subjects if a nude woman was involved. Manet's painting caused a scandal because it showed a real contemporary woman, not a goddess, naked among clothed men in a modern setting. Two, it was the birth of modern art. So this painting is considered the birth of modern art. It's credited as a precursor to modern art Manet style, which flattened perspective, used bold brushstrokes, broke away from the tightly polished realism of academic painting, and inspired the Impressionists, to help set the stage for modernism. So I didn't know that. It also challenged to the art establishment. And I think this is why Yesware picked it. Because at the time, when Yesware came out, and you could see that an email was opened, it was kind of scandalous. And so that's why they chose to put this here. So it says, when Manet submitted the painting to the Paris Salon, it was rejected. Instead, and they did get rejected by Gmail and others until they proved themselves wrong, until it was rejected. Instead, it was shown at the Salon de Refusals. That's the exhibition of the rejected. Didn't know they had that. Which Napoleon III opened for works rejected by the official salon. The moment was a turning point in art history, giving avant-garde artists a platform and encouraging them to challenge mainstream norms, which is, I think, what Yesware was trying to get the point across. All of these paintings, by the way, if you look at the other ones, have that same theme to them. So social commentary, the casual nudity, and the confident, unashamed gaze of the woman challenged gender roles and societal norms. So this is actually a feminist statement at the time. It made people think about how women were portrayed in art and who gets to decide what's considered appropriate. In short, Le Jeune de la Herbe was a radical and not just how it looked, but for what it represented, a rebellion against convention and a major step towards modern artistic freedom. So I thought you might like that story because all of those paintings tell that same story, and that's Brent Yates. I know you're screwing with us, but that's what it's about.
Well, Kendall, punch that square on your Ben and Go card because we just got an art history lesson from Brendan. All right. 1 o'clock. It's time to go back to work, folks. Have an awesome weekend. Stay warm. Thanks for the
Piñata
fun
time.
today. Have a good day.
Hit the piñata.
Oh, the piñata, yeah. Just wait.